Let's watch the... Let's watch the second part of Logan Paul's scam by Coffezilla.
6 months I've been working on my own NFT project. Crypto.
You only think that because you haven't seen the movie? It's a profound spiritual anti-colonialist movie. I'm sure. I mean, you watch like fucking, you know, imperialist forces, colonialist forces get murked, right? Like, I'm sure, but like ultimately it's still
Zoo.co. It's a really fun
it's not
game that makes you money.
I lost around $50,000 in cryptos.
I lost $40,000.
$500,000 Australian.
I'm telling you, it's just a picture. There's nothing I could do with it.
Wait, you can't even hatch?
No.
We had an issue with CryptoZoo where our lead developer took the code that he made, fled to Switzerland, and like held it hostage for $1 million.
He literally never gave me anything at all, ever. Eddie promised me, 5% of tokens and $1 million. He literally never paid me.
Wait a second. Who's Eddie? I thought that all of this was Logan Paul. What's this random guy doing in Logan Paul's project? And who is he? Who is Eddie Ibanez?
To begin answering the question of who Eddie is, I decided to take a deep dive.
I started by looking through all the news articles I could on Eddie, where I found out he graduated from MIT, and from there became a data scientist and cybersecurity expert, and used that technical background to win a Super Bowl for the Eagles. And there were videos on him too, which all painted him as brilliant and extremely accomplished.
Yes, hi, my name's Eddie Ibanez. I'm a father of 3, lead developer here at CryptoZoo.
As a teenager, he successfully hacked AOL from his bedroom. He continued to pursue computer science until attending MIT. He was then recruited out to work for a government agency in cybersecurity, developing software that reverse engineers the location of known government and terrorist threats.
You started with the federal government and you started off really tracking criminals with burner phones and all.
Honestly, after this whole search, I felt more confused than ever. If Eddie's such an amazing guy, why didn't he pay developers? And is he really the puppet master behind CryptoZoo? Or is it someone else? Honestly, I felt like at this point I needed a drink and I needed to ask for help.
Coffee, how's it going?
Oh my God.
Not good.
Oh,
there's robots!
Well, I'm confused about this Eddie Ibanez guy. He comes out of nowhere with this CryptoZoo story, and everything about him I find seems great.
So, what's the problem?
Well, everything's not great. Everything about this guy just seems too perfect. He's an MIT grad, he works for the military. He even claims he won a Super Bowl. Why would that guy work for Logan Paul?
I don't know, but I can find out. You said his name is Eddie Ibanez?
I think he goes by Eduardo technically, but... Wait, what are you doing?
I'm just looking around. And done.
Well, what'd you find?
A few red flags, a couple of misdemeanors. Ooh, a few court cases. I'll send him over. He got sued by his landlord for not paying rent, sued by his credit card company for not paying his bill.
You can skip that stuff. I just need whatever's relevant to CryptoZoo.
Well, that's basically it. Other than... hold on. No, wait, I did find something. Look at this.
What's this?
It's from a paper in Philly. I barely picked it up. This reporter says Eddie's entire story is fake.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the whole Eddie Ibanez character. This guy Adam Robb investigated it. He says it's a lie.
I gotta find this guy. Send me his info. I got some calls to make.
Coffee!
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We met up with Adam Robb, the reporter who's been investigating...
What the fuck? Why?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We met up...
Why is Steven Crowder on the building? He's mocking the metaverse?
With Adam Robb, the reporter who's been investigating Eddie Ibanez for a while now. And I wanted to know, what did Adam think of him when they first met?
I wasn't quite sure what to make of him. Based on what I knew about him, he was a MIT grad who went on to work for the CIA and the Defense Department, and I didn't want to waste his time. And It wasn't long after I sat down that I realized he was wasting my time.
Can you tell me about some of the lies Eddie told you?
Eddie has told me so many lies over the course of my 2 interviews with him. And the first lie he told me is probably the oldest lie that he's told so many people, which is that he's an orphan. I first realized Eddie might be lying to me when I went home the next day and Googled Eddie Ibanez's family. I found a video of Eddie and his wife making rice pudding on a Fox and
Yo, why is it that all these motherfuckers end up on Fox somehow? You do some fuck shit, dude. You do some fuck shit. Fox News is the place for you, okay? It's like anyone and everyone that has done something illegal, awful, bad, ranging from like morally abhorrent to like outright illegal. Fox News has got a show for you, man. It's crazy.
Friend segment on Fox News, and Eddie's wife.
And it's not like Fox News has a segment for you where they criticize you. I mean, like Fox News will do a puff piece on you. Literally, always. What the fuck?
Jackie explained that she learned the recipe from Eddie's mother.
So in that picture, you've got Jackie Ibanez. You know her along with her husband, Eddie, and her 2 little girls. You love rice pudding. Why is this a family recipe?
Okay, so Eddie's mom made this rice pudding once.
Wait, Eddie's mom? I thought Eddie was an orphan. Well, it turns out the only problem with that is that not only does his mom exist, she's alive and in his life. And it turns out it wasn't just Adam that heard this story either. He told it a lot.
Did you ever meet his mother or his parents?
I did meet his mother.
Did he ever tell you he was an orphan?
Yes.
How did he square that with you?
So that's why I'm so confused. He told me he was an orphan and all this stuff, but then I meet his mom.
He told me he was an orphan and then I met his mother is quite the string of words. But as insane as these lies are, let's be real, it doesn't explain why CryptoZoo failed. But the next lies kind of do, because part of Eddie's story is also that he went to MIT where he was recruited to the CIA. And it's part of why he was so attractive as a lead developer, all the wild experiences that he had had. But it's just not true.
I emailed the MIT registrar's office and I asked.
That's my favorite type of grifter is like, first of all, 2 different kinds of animals here. One, the guy who's like, oh, you work for the CIA? That must mean you're a good guy, okay? That's my favorite type of person, but only losing to my actual favorite type of person, who is the person who lies about being, about going to fucking... You guys are so dumb for that fucking Kanye West link. That's not actually yay, you dummy. Anyway.
If Eddie Ibanez attended the school.
Person who lies about being a part of the CIA.
In absolute terms that he never attended MIT.
That's right. The whole orphan to MIT origin story, it wasn't true. And Eddie's whole backstory from here kind of falls apart as well. How could he have been recruited to a government agency out of MIT if he never went to MIT? If this is all seeming crazy to you, you might ask yourself, who would believe all this? And this is where Eddie shines. He kind of had a gift for getting people to believe in the lies he told, especially super rich and powerful people for some reason. Like take, for instance, this story, him winning the Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles. He managed to convince the owner of the New York Yankees that it was true, Barry Klarberg, who completely bought into it without question and told the same story later in a college seminar.
Let's jump right into the work that you did for the Philadelphia Eagles, which led to a Super Bowl championship, led to you getting a Super Bowl ring.
Yep.
Tell us exactly what your job was to do for them and how it worked out.
No, sure thing. So first off, they said like, we don't know where to put you, but and then the sports science guy was the one guy. He's like, hey, I got some data. I'm interested. So so we took in his data, and then we found out that these players. What happens is it's like a player, as they run around, they get a certain fatigue level. So if you ever played Street Fighter, the video game, there's like a red bar at the top, and every time you get hit, that red bar goes down until you die, KO, right? So then we're trying to figure out kind of what that is for a player, and on an injury level, right? There's an injury bar that gets knocked down and that gets KO'd.
This is insane. He convinced an owner of the Yankees that he won a Super Bowl by turning sports athletes into Street Fighter characters. And of course, none of it's true.
Dude, I love stories like this, man. I do. it's just like, it just goes to show you that so many people that have like profound amounts of power unironically aren't smarter than the average motherfucker, dude. Like street smarts. The average motherfucker who's a dumbass who's read 0 fucking books unironically has like at least a goddamn smell test. Has at least some level of fucking smell test that literally makes them avoid these kinds of things, you know? Like the fucking middle of the hour ad break that is a minute long and it's a secret, and I don't usually do a segue.
The Philadelphia Eagles responded to a fact check saying he never worked for their player analysis team. Not only that, the Eagles also said that Eddie did try to do an in-person presentation in March of 2018, but that was already a month after the Eagles had already won the Super Bowl. And also they didn't hire him because of course not. Meaning there's no way this story is true. And yet he's convinced people at the highest levels of sports that it is. And this is where we get back to CryptoZoo, of course, because it's how he got involved with that project. Remember Jeff Levin, Logan's manager, who we spoke to last time? Well, he also spoke to Adam Robb. And when he told him the reasons he liked Eddie, they sounded very familiar.
And did he tell you, I guess, kind of like about like working with the...
Like, I hope I'm never as like delusional as these motherfuckers. Like, I feel like I'm way too skeptical and way too pessimistic. But like, it blows my mind how you can get to a point like this where you just get got so fucking hard, dude. Don't say Pepela surely. I just don't. I literally don't understand it. I don't.
The NFL and that kind of stuff and the whole...
Bro, you got from Slicker? I mean, I guess, but that's not the same, dude. If Slicker wasn't fucking lying to me about... Bro, Slicker wasn't lying to me about winning a Super Bowl, brother, okay? He was just saying that he was in a shitty situation and asked for, you know, $500. That's a little bit different. I feel like that's like a minor scam. He just said he needed money, didn't even say it was for gambling. Yeah, no. And then the next time he asked me for money, I didn't fucking respond because I knew he was, you know, scamming. So there's that too. So yeah, no, my nose is pretty fucking good on this. I'm literally in a shitty situation in a POC. Let me hold some money. I think Nice Bathroom forgot that he's modding for a racist. Olga 2U, thank you for the 5 get the subs.
Yeah, like his time in the CIA and all that.
He did. And it was interesting. It was like, this is wild, you know? Like, that's pretty cool. But he's, once again, he's humble and he's not, like, ever bragging or anything like that.
Wait, but he is bragging. He literally made it all up. The CIA, NFL stories aren't true. How could that not be bragging? But that's the impression Eddie gave off. But that's not all. Because Eddie didn't just use made-up stories to get in with the CryptoZoo team. He also used his other connections, his real millionaire and billionaire friends that he's managed to gain with all these fake stories, and some of them vouched for him. People like Chris Birch and Todd Morley.
And what was the thing that kind of like sold you on Eddie? Was it the fact that like Chris and Todd and people like that kind of like have backed him in the past and like...
I just think he's a down-to-earth, cool, humble guy.
Okay.
Who's been super successful. They're trying to do an agenda, and he's just kind of like, hey, look, I'm super smart in what I know, and I have amazing relationships through the business that I've done.
It's incredible. I mean, how does this guy keep getting away with it? Honestly, it's baffling. But I've got to say, up till now, everyone's been fooled sort of fair and square on the same grounds. But I found out CryptoZoo did have an advantage that could have saved them all this trouble the whole time.
So a month before the launch of CryptoZoo, I got on the phone with Jeff Levin, Logan Paul's manager. And after he spoke fondly of Eddie and his work, I confronted him about some of Eddie's lies, including how he didn't work for the NFL. Jeff told me he doesn't know much about the NFL, but he knows about the business world. And Chris Birch and Todd Morley vouched for Eddie. And so Jeff and Logan were going to continue working with him. Have you ever verified that anything Eddie said about himself is true?
We verified that it's true.
Yeah.
We definitely talk to people.
Okay.
And his friends and, you know, and people that he said he has relationships with, which we've confirmed them for sure.
Okay, because I had trouble with some of that, like with the NFL, like saying that like no, we've never worked with him, and that kind of thing. But you've had
the NFL saying that?
Yeah.
Like who at the NFL?
The comms teams for the Eagles and the Dolphins, and then the people specifically that he named that he said he worked with.
Got it. I don't know necessarily the football stuff.
Okay.
You know, I don't have relationships in the football world.
Sure.
But in the business world, you know, we've definitely, you know, talked to multiple people.
Like Todd and Chris, and they backed him.
Correct.
Wait a second. This means at minimum, Jeff knew about Eddie's background beforehand, or part of it, and still decided to go with him. This is just unbelievable, willful stupidity. And since Jeff is Logan's manager,
it's just crazy that like you can't get a fucking McDonald's job without like a criminal background check. And meanwhile, these motherfuckers are at the highest level of society scamming the richest folks, dude. It really is just so fucking expensive to be broke. It's crazy, okay? There ain't no fucking way. You lie on a resume when you're trying to get a fucking job in a meaningful way, you're just not getting the job. They're gonna fact check your ass, okay? Yeah, they drug test it. They fucking tell you how you can wear your hair and shit. There's just so many levels. Yeah, you need to pee in a cup to be an assistant manager. Meanwhile, this guy's like, oh, I won a Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles, actually. It's crazy.
I assume him and the team should have known about this as well. But still, they went forward with it even though they knew this stuff before launch. Now, I started to reach out for comment about this because obviously this is a huge deal. But when I did, I got a call from somebody new. Someone with a different perspective that I hadn't heard from before. Jake, the Crypto King. He's been involved with some of Logan's projects in the past, like Pokemon, for example. He was called the Collectibles Guru a few years ago. Nowadays, he goes by Crypto King, and he's an advisor for the Crypto Zoo project. So let's add him to the conspiracy board. But the question is, what did he have to say? I took a call with him, and he mostly wanted to talk off the record. But when I pressed him, he was willing to at least put one thing on the record for me.
Right. One more thing about Eddie before we get off of him. We actually...
The biggest reason it failed, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because I don't want it to ever be thought that Logan's the reason it failed. He's not. Logan wasn't smart enough for what he tried to build. And then when it was built and was failing, didn't have the ability to correct it and to save face and reputation. It was more convenient to pull out than to be associated with a failing project that the dev rocked. So I could put that one sentence on the record.
Well, that is certainly emphatic. Crypto King says it's all Eddie's fault. And this is a nice, neat theory for us. You know, Eddie ruined everything because, yeah,
but
Eddie
wait,
is a liar.
There's more. There's a part 3 to this.
So it does seem to explain how these developers got screwed. But this theory doesn't fit all the facts because Eddie was kicked off the team months ago. And still, the game is not working, despite Logan claiming they were going to go back and fix all the problems.
Again, retroactively working to make these projects right, and this just takes time, bro. It just takes time. Development takes time.
Working backwards to fix things, which isn't ideal, but also this project will speak for itself.
And now, you know, we're working backwards to try to fix it.
This just hasn't happened. Even a year from launch, the game just doesn't exist. What's worse is the newest dev team who came on after Eddie just quit. And one of their reasons was they hadn't been paid for over a month. I know this because Logan's team is leakier than the Titanic and someone told me that, but we also have blockchain evidence. This is Jeff paying...
Wait, so that guy sold Logan Paul a box of fake Pokemon cards, and then Logan Paul was like, oh, dude, you're the perfect guy to work with me on this new crypto scheme now that you... Or was Logan just like, you sound and look a lot like a guy who sold me a box of fake Pokemon cards, but your name isn't Pokemon King. Your name is Crypto King. So I assume you're a different guy. Like, what happened there? I mean, that guy was a different kind of king. You know, you're a Crypto King. You're totally new king. You know, that's a different guy. He sold fake Pokemon cards to a charity auction, but not to Jake Paul. Oh.
Block Ops, the company they hired out on July 19th. They were supposed to redo all this work. It's confirmed by their leader, Skip, talking about a first monthly payment on that day. But after that, there's nothing until they quit on September 26th in a post called Our Departure from CryptoZoo. Now, I do have to say, it does look like they were eventually paid, but only a day after they quit. And this is just the same problem as before, slightly different. Nobody can pay these devs on time, and investors end up getting nothing. And so I can't buy into the idea that Eddie's at fault for everything, because when Eddie was gone, they had a lot of the same problems. Now, it was only at the point that this dev team quit, Block Ops, that things really took a turn. Because if the Titanic was leaking before, now it was sinking, and everyone basically gave up hope. You know, from every direction, I started getting messages from all the investors who felt betrayed, who up to this point were holding on to hope.
I gotta pee. I'll be back in a
Now they
second.
felt defeated. They felt tricked by the CryptoZoo team who had fed them promise after promise, and they were sick of it.
He was never in the chat or anything, never apologized or told us anything.
Things didn't work out. Things didn't work out. We all get that. But to continuously lie, lead people on, hype people up, to put more money in, all the while in the background, things are going down, things are hitting the fan, and you've left us holding the bag.
I know it was my decision, and I did my research, but I believe nobody has to lose money in this way.
And that's when a whistleblower stepped forward and decided enough was enough. They decided to leak me messages, team messages, from the CryptoZoo team from all the way back in the beginning when they thought of this idea, all the way up to launch. And seeing that, it changed everything. Because all of a sudden, I got a lot of new information. Remember how Jake, the Crypto King, said Eddie was the only problem? Well, a year ago, he was saying something very different. On the day of launch, he said this to the group. Logan, you stole 40 million in tokens from me. You are a scam artist. You are a liar, and you betrayed your own community. What? You aren't that guy. Logan replies, oh, Jake, trust me, bro. I am that guy.
You're gonna change the whole story. Yeah, I'll go on the record for you, and yes, I'm gonna show you the text message that said we can sell at these ascending market caps, and that it's not like I was trying to rug a project. It's like I put $250,000 into a project plus 6 months of time, and the founder never did anything he said he was going to do, and then hired a bunch of devs that didn't do what they were going to do. And every time I gave advice, the advice was I was told. So there was nothing illegal about that. Ethically, arguable. The rest that Logan did to me was ethically wrong and illegal.
Woo! Stop it, Coffezilla. You motherfucker with this part bullshit, dude. I mean, hey, good on him. But like, goddamn, dude. I mean, this is fucking spicy. It's spicy. It's so fucking spicy. Holy shit. Holy fuck. Coffezilla doing the goddamn Lord's work. I'm just glad that cryptocurrency exists exclusively so Coffezilla could make these kinds of videos, honestly. Got baited with the same I am that guy cliffhanger twice in a row. I mean, it's a powerful line. As Haas would say, it all comes from yours or your dad's wallet. Yeah.